Good morning. It is Operation Vimy Ridge, summer 1917, USA, China, and a whole lot of others. I will go ahead and get us rolling. A lot going on. The first is congratulations to the Soviets. They've been doing a good job taking territory. For those of you who've played our game and read those cards, you can imagine developing random events, developing these cards for the game has been tough to anticipate every conceivable scenario that they will run into. But I believe we've written in very precisely, and I say we, it's me, Brian, really poured a lot of energy into this, a lot of great input from Tim. And so when Dawson was rolling for or pulling those cards, when it says infantry unit, it means infantry unit. So there were some units that he pulled off that he shouldn't have because it was only pertaining to the whites, and if there was only one white there. So the bottom line is I got to roll for one more infantry in Kola, and this would be the British infantry. After the first strike, there were plenty of hits. The first strike would have taken out the militia. The infantry unit, the white unit, was killed in the attack. He did get a hit back. So here is the Brit, who will be taken off, but he does get to roll before he expires. And he rolls an 8. So all that conversation, and it's over. Okay, so beginning of the U.S. turn. I'm not going to do public math again, but I am 2 dreadnoughts moving. The first is going to stage 3, and I'm putting one on at stage 4. And so from there, that was 6. I guess I am doing public math. Another 18 with ships down here, improved construction, or another 12. So that brings it to 18, 22, 25, 29, 32, the mine 34, Lend Leasing to 34, so 37, another 6 British TBD, 43, cavalry to China, 47, no, I've already screwed it up, 18, 22, 25, 29, 32, 34, 37, 43, and 4, 47, 48, 49. I'm 1 over. How did I do that? 3, 6, 18, 18. I'll do it a different way. 18, 21, 25, 29, 32, 34, 34, 37, 43. I'm going to have to send an infantry to China. 43, 45. No, that's it. 49. All right. Terrible, terrible. That's why I said I shouldn't do math in public. All right. Rolling for the same 4 rolls. I believe I've rolled for every single time, which is, no, I've actually, hurricane bombardment is red, blue is defense in depth, green is hydrophone depth charges, and improved factories just to finish that off. So let's see what we get. Lots of, all of them need to be 7 or higher. Okay, all but the green. So, all but the green. So red, hurricane bombardment, defense in depth, hydrophones, depth charges, and oh, that's the one I did not get. And then I finish improved factory. So yay, I can build a lot of stuff. I just don't really feel like I'm gonna max out any of the factories that I have. I have 3 free rolls for diplomacy because unrestricted submarine warfare being used twice, and I took a land zone. So let's start with the beloved Spain. Needed 2, and that is a 1. Spain is down the chart for the Ottomans. Thank you. That was a good one. All right. Netherlands, would like to see that come down. Need a 1 or 2. That is a 4. Does not help. And then Sweden. I'd like to see Sweden. That's a 5. Hard to see, but all right. So there's my expenditures, which is quite a bit. Take my plate, go around. Got a lot going on. Let's see if I can sort it all out. Okay. Attack here into Chihuahua with everything I've got. No surprise there. I am walking 2 infantry from Chile in, bringing, I picked up the naval, brought 3 more infantry from Rio, also doing an attrition attack out of Pampas with 2 of the artillery. USA-wise, also over here, and all these I'll have to catch up. Kind of convoluted. The fleet is coming down from P-25, that's 2 TBDs and 2 battle cruisers are moving to the Samoan Islands. And you say, well, that's not a combat move. Well, it is if I want to take German Samoa. I just happen to be there. It's good use for Marines. They get a little practice in assaulting the beach. So we'll bring those 2 guys down here, take Samoa. That'll give me virtually, that's a free territory. I got 2 submarines that are going to make a hit. They're going to go directly for this TBD. And then this submarine is going to come lay a mine. This submarine is going to move up and raid. So I won't, till I roll it, I'm not going to take that off. So this one down, lay a mine, this one up. I got to roll for all those mines. So a lot of rolling going on there. Let's start with activity. I had to move things around a little bit. Again, great job, Dawson. Hopefully those cards, which have no intention of updating any of them, so hopefully they all make sense. So the first attack is, let's do the 2 artillery attrition. What's that, a 1? 2 artillery attrition there into Argentina in the north. And 2 7s will not get anything done. All right, then the attack itself, I have 3 bombards. He has 1 unit in defense. 3 bombards. And I got 1. So the rest of the rolling doesn't even need to take place, including his. So that will, I take Patagonia. With 5 infantry and a Marine, leaving 1 infantry in Chile, and I've already done the 2 attrition attacks, and I'll get to non-combat. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and do non-combat. I'll move the camera over in a bit. I've got a artillery in Rio de Janeiro is going to walk forward into Pampas, bringing that to 3 artillery, 4, 5 infantry, and a cavalry. So there's 5 infantry, a cavalry, and Pampas, and there's now 5 infantry and a Marine down there in Patagonia. So not bad. Not bad outcome. Okay. Now my attack in Mexico against, so my artillery at a 3 because it's into the mountains. Rolls a 12. I have 3 cavalry and an infantry that's upgunned, but at a 2. And there's my hit. There's my hit that I needed right there. So I'll have to roll any more of those. He gets a defense of a 4, and he gets a hit. So moving into Chihuahua with 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry and artillery, 3 cavalry. I'm going to go ahead and roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On a 7 or less, recruitment rolls a 5, so that will place an additional infantry into. I'm going to go ahead and place him into Veracruz. Don't ask me why. It seemed like a good place. I believe that's it for that side of the board. Give you a camera view. Again, 4 infantry, 3 cavalry, and artillery now in Chihuahua, 1 infantry into Veracruz, 1 infantry in Chile, 5, and a marine here in Patagonia. And up here I got 4, 5 infantry, 3 artillery, cavalry, and don't forget my colonial. I'm going to place, since I'm just standing here, a infantry into Rio and a cavalry into, no, sorry, the infantry will go into Pampas and the cavalry will go into Rio. No, the infantry has to go at the factory because I am out of, there we go, that's fine. I had a manpower of 2, all good. Okay, lots of activity in the Pacific. I already talked about what I'm going to roll for. So I've already taken Samoa. Things around. Oh, was Patagonia worth 1? Might have been. Yeah. Patagonia is worth 1, so the US goes to 42, and Germany goes down to, I think, 37. Brian can correct me on that. Been doing my best to keep up. So let's roll. No Q ships down there. Blue will be American. Japanese will be the brown. Let's start by rating the line out of the home islands. Let's start with the mine, which rates on a 0. So he beats me there. And then the submarine, I get a +2. Oh, okay, so I crushed him. He loses 2 off that line. I just wanted to make sure that I get it. That's why I sent the submarine. And then the next line is off of the one coming out of the Netherlands. Let's see what the name of it, but it's okay. Starting with the mine in P34. Okay, that's a miss. And then the mine in P33. Okay, that's a big miss. Well, okay, well that's terrible, but not totally unexpected. And I have 2 submarines attacking at a 3, and he has a TBD defending at a 4. I'll roll those together. Yellow will be my attack at a 3. And I get 1. That's 1 hit. He misses. So TBD is removed. And the submarines, 2 submarines are now in P33. The submarine that is in P15 is going to lay a mine. You know, I opened a can of worms with this with this mind warfare stuff because everybody's been doing it. So let me see if I've pulled off all my little, for the US, I'm clear on that side of the board. The remaining fleet still remains a submarine, the recon patrol blimp. We got a battle cruiser, a transport commander. The Dread is repaired because he stayed the whole time, and 2 TBDs that have been there. And on the Pacific side of the board at here in the Southwest, put in a transport, marine, and an infantry. Send in a cavalry to China, going to place that into Nanking. They can use that this turn. Yep, clear here. On this side of the board, the seaplane's going to stay on map. The one non-combat move, I have 2 transports off of London. Not only do I get additional strategic naval move, but they get to move in additional space. So count me out here. 1 from London. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, moving into port in A25. So again, let me count that out, because this is where I made my mistakes the previous turn. Coming out of London, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 into A25. And that is where I'm going to place my TBD. I'm sending the French and infantry into southern France. I'm sending a TBD to London for the British, and I am sending a Finnish military to Lapland, and that cannot be interdicted. So I believe whether you're allied or Central Powers, if we do not support what's going on there with the whites, we will quickly be thrown out. Now, the good thing is this will slow him down quite a bit, because the Soviets won't attack into a territory with German present, except in the case, like a card specifically says to do it, like we saw here in Lithuania, where the militia came off, but there was a German colonial there. But this will slow him down, because he can't attack the Finns because there's Central Powers units there. He's not going to be able to get into Poland anytime soon. Not going to look good for Ukraine, but I would encourage my friends to send units there, as well as if the Ottomans assist, you know, this white could move down into Armenia, and that will aid in your recruitment rolling. So just want to make sure there was nothing else I was supposed to do. So submarine in a mine, C zone P14, where Brian's going to lose 2 from that line. Submarine in a mine in P15, 2 submarines, P33 with a mine, and a mine in P34. No other changes there. America went up $1. Germany went down $1, and I get to roll for wartime income against any, and I have 42. That is a 9, so that'll take me to 51. All right, should the Chinese keep their income? They have 8. They're going to buy 2 infantry and a militia. But the cards usually have something to say about that. Several attacks in China. The first is Xinjiang, mandatory offensive. All right. They have an artillery in Xinjiang, and they're going to go against my artillery. This could work. They have an artillery. My roundel is in mountainous terrain, so it's going to be -1. So his is yellow, mine is black. I have an artillery and an infantry, but all right, neither of those hit. And then my infantry rolls in defense on a 12. So he's going to come again. Artillery at a 3. No, it's only 1 round. Only 1 round. So we're good. That's too bad. All right. Nationalists. Add a mountain infantry to any territory. About time I got something that worked in my favor. I'll add a mountain infantry to Szechuan. It's a good ad. Szechuan, yellow location. All right, last card. Shanxi, mandatory offensive. All right, so that's yellow. He's going to attack me first. Best defense is an offense. It's good. All right. He has an artillery and a mountain. I have an artillery, a cavalry, a mountain, and a regular infantry. Hey, this worked in my advantage. All right, so his artillery misses for a 3. Mountain infantry attacks at a 2 +1, so attacks at a 3 with the artillery, and he gets a hit. I have a mountain infantry at a 5, a regular infantry at a 4, and a cavalry at a 2. 2. Yep. Okay. Mountain infantry. The mountain infantry. Everybody missed. My goodness. Like a gift horse, and I just totally blew it. All right, so now I am attacking him. I am attacking with an artillery into the mountain. A mountain infantry will be upgunned. So that's 2. The cavalry will be at a 2. And the infantry will be at a 1 going into the mountain. Yeah, so let's start with first strike. Oh, and then I have a second artillery, Second artillery coming from Shanghai. And yeah, that's it. So 2 artillery, first strike. I got 1 hit. So I got 1 hit. And his first strike artillery is at a 4. He gets a hit. So we both lose a unit. I will take off an infantry, and he will take off a militia. All right. That leaves me with cavalry at a 2 and the mountain infantry at a 3. No, they're both supported, so they're both at a 3. And that's a miss. He has a mountain infantry at a 5, and that's a hit. So I will lose the cavalry and I believe I had the mountain infantry retreats. So I have remaining 2 artillery and he has an artillery and a mountain. Once again, I'm going to stop because I don't like them odds. So let me show you how that kind of blows out. I remain with an infantry and an artillery in Singhai. The infantry didn't attack. I should have. The mountain and the artillery down here, that was the free mountain I got. His mountain and artillery. And then my next attack is 2 infantry, cavalry, and a mountain against this infantry and militia here in, and this cavalry was coming from Hope. So 2 cavalry, 2 infantry, and a mountain against his infantry and militia. So no first strikes and no terrain modifier. I have 2 cavalry, a mountain at a 2, and 2 infantry also at a 2. Cavalry gets a hit and no retreats. He has a militia at a 2 and an infantry at a 4. No hits, so he loses militia. Round 2, no retreats. That's unusual. All right, cavalry retreated and I got 1 hit, which is all I needed. His infantry gets a hit. So he'll lose an infantry. I lose an infantry that was in the attack. Going to take Western Manchuria, which is worth nothing, with a cavalry, an infantry, and a mountain. The cavalry from Suwon will have to stay back, which is not a terrible thing. And then non-combat. The cavalry from Nanking is going to move to Szechuan here. And then for placement, two infantry and a militia. I'm going to place one infantry in Rihi, one infantry in Shanghai, and a militia into Hunan. China still collects 8. I will roll to influence the warlord in Manchuria. Even though he can counterattack me, maybe this is a way to keep him from doing it. And I get nothing, so. And then I have, just to confirm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14? I didn't think I was at 14 yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, it's an automatic infantry either way. So I'm going to place that infantry into Guangdong, down there in the south. Okay. Just ensuring I'm done. China collect their 8. on the roll for some random events. I never did get everybody's vote. But as we move into, I'm not going to show the IPP board, we're moving into fall, winter. We would get random events and align Brazil. Brazil's already aligned. Let's see what happens in the West. 3. Okay, so I don't need everybody. Remove an IPP from the major power that has aligned Greece. So, I forget who that is. Oh, I can look on my board. So that's Germany. Germany removes 1 IPP. Not much of an event there, but hey. All right, and in the East, there's some good ones here, potentially. 3 again. Remove an Ottoman infantry and place an attacking British infantry in Palestine. Resolve combat immediately. Well, I will take off an Ottoman infantry in Palestine. But quite frankly, I don't know what the point of rolling that is. It's a slaughter. But let's start with, looks like he has 5 artillery. So, this is good. I don't think this poor guy's going to get to, no, he doesn't even get to roll. So it was a slaughter, but hey, 1 Ottoman infantry came off in the end. So I believe that is all I have. Make one final survey. I believe the Mexican Revolution will wrap up next turn, even though it is winter. There is one thing I forgot. Absolutely. And it's an American non-combat move. I'm going to rail 3 American infantry into Lorraine, along with the commander and 2 cavalry. They are in Lorraine. I'm just putting them on the British card for now. That leaves 1 American infantry. He'll walk to Picardy. He'll walk to Picardy. I'm glad I did one final survey. So. That puts 3 American infantry, 2 cavalry, and a commander into, so the Americans have moved on the line for their baptism into fire. Okay, I'm glad I did that final look, and then that 1 American walked from Normandy into Picardy. Now I can honestly say that is it. It's going to be over 50 degrees today. I got an old convertible. Maybe I'll put the top down and enjoy it. Hope you can enjoy your weather too. Out.